Hello everybody, this is Mithril Zenith. Welcome back to... Oh man, I almost said to Fire Emblem. Welcome back to Mordor, Depths of Dejenol. Holy Crusade. There we go. Today's an interesting day. It's only interesting because... just yesterday... Even though I didn't upload anything, I didn't post anything, I don't know what's happening. But I think maybe YouTube finally is putting videos out there, or someone else is. Because I just got 6 subscribers yesterday, and I've already gotten 1 more today, for not even posting anything. I've been like super busy with school and everything. But that means I'm getting up to 100 subs, boys. And girls, and whoever's watching this. I don't know who's watching this. To celebrate, let's do a road to 100. Sea site feather essence. Okay, that's what I needed. I figured this would be a nice little excursion. Just play to level 100 sorcerer. It's about 6 levels. It's going to be a fair bit, but gives me some time to actually kind of think about, man, how freaking long it's taken just to get to this point. I really shouldn't be charm of opening level 2 chests. Oh man, where do I even begin? Well, I guess I'll begin at the beginning. What was the first thing that I did on this? I think the very first thing I did a... So this is back in 2013, I want to say. I think it was 2013. Man, I'm finding a lot of useless crap. In 2013, I started the channel. Was it Pokemon stuff first, or was it the Swordless run? I feel like it was the Swordless run of Zelda that I did first. The Swordless run of Zelda 1. I am not good at that game, but I am decent at it. Mostly just because I grew up with it, and I've learned where most of the things are in that game. And it's bad quality. Like, it was still on a laptop. I didn't know how to... Rather, at least with the... What? Why are there no enemies in this room? At the very least, with the tech that I had, the software that I had, I couldn't really do much. I didn't know how to take sound directly from the computer. So I just basically upped my mic sensitivity, blasted for my speakers and played that way. And I was on a laptop, so the fan was loud and it just wasn't good. It was absolutely terrible, and I'm taking a lot of damage from that stupid Pelagon. Yeah, it was rather rough. Plus, there are some videos that got entirely muted because of Nintendo's copyright policy at the time, where if I wasn't talking in a regular enough interval, and I think there were 1 or 2 episodes where I didn't even have any voice on because something happened. I don't even know what happened. But either way, there were several episodes that were entirely muted because if I wasn't talking in a regular interval, enough of the actual Zelda music got through. And at least at the time, Nintendo was very, very picky about that. Like, if you were trying to, like, if you had any, like, 7 seconds of classic NES music going on, they just automatically claimed that or muted it or something. So there was that. That's how I started. Did some Pokemon challenges. I did like 2 in Emerald's version. Did horribly in both of them. Like, I don't even know how else to put it. It was bad. I played through Zelda 2, which despite the, again, awful quality, air quotes, I hesitate to even call it that, despite the awful quality of the mic and the fan being so loud, because it's on my old laptop whose fan was killing itself. That laptop was on its last legs anyway. But despite that, I mean, still wasn't a bad run of Zelda 2. No, we're not fighting Hydras. I'm sorry, not in an anti-magic area. But that's just asking to take, like, at least 100 damage from breath weapons alone. Yeah, it's not a bad run. Plus, I have at least one video in that series, which was pretty good. View-wise, at least. And that was a video that I was thinking ahead at the time, because I knew people wanted it. I made a video of me collecting every single... no, cancel. One of that one. Of me collecting every single Link doll, every single one-up in the game, on a single life, in one go. Getting up to, well, except for the one in the Great Temple, but can't really get that. Basically getting up to 7 lives in preparation for, was it the Valley of Death or something? I don't know. I don't know what it's supposed to be called. That awful place right before the Great Temple, and then in the end of the game. Yeah, so that started doing well. But only really recently did it. Generally, it wasn't too great. And somewhere along the lines of that, way back in like 2013, maybe 2014 at the time, I decided, you know what, there's a game that I didn't even know anyone else played at the time. Or at least I wouldn't unless I had gone to... If I hadn't gone to the forums, I wouldn't have known that anyone else had even heard of this game before. And this little game is the one you're seeing here. I made what became quickly one of my most watched videos. It still has several thousand views. I look back and I cringe so hard at what it is. How high my voice was, even though I was still like 18. I was... I don't know. I look back and cringe on that, but... Where does that take me again? Yeah, into the corner. Yeah, that... But hey, I put it at the start, and that was the start of this character. Goody Gilthriel. Where does this take me? Oh, that takes me to floor 6. That's actually not a terrible route. Music, where'd you go? I lost the music. There's... The game music ran out. Great, this is a great 100 sub special. Oh, there it is. It just took a while. So yeah, that's when I made the brief intro to Mordor the Depths of Dejenol. Thinking that I would make more a brief intro to videos, although that never happened. Because I ended up going on a about 2-year hiatus, 1.5 years or so. For personal reasons. And then 2016 I came back. 2014 I think I started this series. 2016 I came back. Stepped right back into it. And then life got crazy. But then I also, around that time, decided, you know what? Fire Emblem's a game I like. Why don't I make some content about that? At the time, not even realizing that there were any other, like, Fire Emblem creators on YouTube. Like, not a single one. I mean, it shows how much I knew about the scene I was getting myself into. I just didn't know anything. I mean, of course, nowadays I watch several of them fairly actively, know the memes and all that stuff, but yeah, at the time, it was a bygone era, you know? I didn't really know. And that's fine, everyone has to start somewhere, but Frost Giants. Let's try to fire. Oh, don't see those every day. But yeah, so this character's been going technically since like 2013 or 2014, on and off. Man, when I first started this character, I didn't like skip any grinding. I didn't hide anything. I didn't just off screen, because I played every level on screen with this character, and it was an interesting experience, but I quickly realized you run out of stuff to say real quick. And then so I started talking a lot more about like D&D, campaigns I was in, started talking a lot more just about my life in general, and this kind of became just this basically vlog series. I hear my roommates, I think. I hope that they're not gonna interrupt. If I suddenly go away, if I suddenly cut away, that's because my roommates cut in. But yeah. From humble beginnings, I made a playthrough of Fire Emblem Gaiden leading up to the release of Echoes, which nobody watched because I didn't have any sort of viewership at all at the time. I did a run of The Last Promise. Was that before or after my first Zero Bases? I forget. It probably had to be after, didn't it? Yeah, I made a decision, though, which kind of defined my YouTube career, for lack of a better term. Well, I can't really call it a career, because still can't earn any money off of it. But I made the decision back in January of 2018, because some people were posting in the Fire Emblem subreddit some insane hacks that they've made, because everyone was like, you know, 0% growth, that type of thing, pretty common. Maybe not super common, but it was common enough at the time. It was definitely something people had their eye on. So someone, I assume just a troll, created Fire Emblem Zero base stats. First for FE7, and then for the entire trilogy of Game Boy games. That's the one I'm just missing. I always forget what buffs I need to cast and which ones I can't. But yes, Fire Emblem, 0 base stats. FE7, 0 bases. A broken game that I played, which got me some attention. Are the dungeons fixed now? What the heck is going on? There's nothing here. A game which got me some attention, which got me a little bit of a couple of subs and whatnot. But yet, every time I uploaded one of these Mordor videos, it didn't get a ton of views, but it got a consistent amount. Because everything else, I had to advertise a lot, and like, most of the times no one even cared. So thank you to whoever you are for watching these videos. But anyway, that's when I really first started getting some semblance of viewer base, I guess I'd say. Because at the time, I was like 30 subs? 30, 40 maybe? I really hadn't done anything in terms of trying to advertise myself, put myself out there. I didn't even know how to do it, really. And so it began... Freaking pit. It began around last year, around this time last year, that I really said, you know what? Can't spend a ton of time on it. And I'm not gonna, like, devote my entire life to it. But I had to ask myself, is this a hobby that's worth pursuing for me? Or not? Is this something that I want to do with my, as part of my life, as part of who I am? Or not? Well, I see that I'm not suffering from the issue of falling into a pit and preventing monsters from spawning. What's up with all the Lasumians? They're so annoying. But yeah. And so I asked myself, you know, what is it that you want from this? Do you want to grow a viewer base? And if so, how? And I said to myself, you know what? There's not much I can do. There's not too much that I want to do with this. But I do want to share somewhat of my love for these games. For Mordor, for Fire Emblem, for a couple of other things that I keep thinking about doing but never have. Oh, shoot! Those are Zebrats. Those are Zebrats. I guess you get to experience the joys of Zebrats. I'm just gonna put that on that. And we are going to heal ourselves up a little bit because Zebrats are terrifying. And we are going to focus. You killed a lot. Ugh. Zebrats are enemies that spawn in groups of you don't know how many. With not many hit points, but a freaking ton of them and really high attack. And as soon as you walk into the room, they're something that some people call insta-kill monsters, because if you don't have enough hit points, you are just dead. Yeah, so that's the thing. Well, say hello to the Minotaur. I think he's immune to magic. Ugh. This Minotaur guy, he hits hard. Like, the Minotaur, I swear, is stronger than the Butcher, who's a boss on the next floor. Minotaur's one of the strongest monsters, like, singular in the dungeon compared to the rest of the level. I'm gonna try one thing. Yeah, I'm dealing 19 damage. This isn't gonna happen. Stupid Lynch Demon. But yeah. It was about a year ago where I was at, I think, less than 50 subs. And I decided, you know what? I want to make something out of this. And so I did. And so I found a niche that I understood, that I knew that people wanted in Fire Emblem. And I went with it. I did 0 base stats, or FE7, which at the time was a thing no one had done before. Now there might be some people who have done things. And in fact, the mod for it is probably fixed by now, but at the time it was so broken. It had infinite use weapons, like double use staves. Some of the characters just, I don't know, there's something about some of the other characters. Oh yeah, and also it was made easier by the fact that you had, like, everyone had increased experience growth, kind of like thieves do, and everyone had a level cap of 30 instead of 20 every class. And that game was still tough. In fact, I don't even know if it's possible to play without the infinite weapons and without them moving enemies around just for one chapter, and that chapter's Battle Before Dawn with Jafar and young Zephiel. Yeah, screw that chapter. Also, Zebrats are the reason why I kept that 7-use Prod of Ultimate Power, because there's no way I'm running through a room of Zebrats without killing them. I probably could have killed them with the Crest of the Sorcerer, but meh. Part of me kind of wishes there were more like buff spells in this game, but then another part of me says, you know, that would just mean that people spend more time with a unit on the stairs going back and forth, just buffing their entire party. Now that we have plenty of healing spells, though, let's try and get after that Minotaur. I'm just gonna blow him up with my crest, because I can. Because I don't like slimes. Yeah, so I played FE7 Zero Bases. That was an experience. But I enjoyed it. In the end, I enjoyed it. Through all the frustration and pain, I liked it. And that's why now I'm going back and doing FE6. Zero bases. Some call me crazy. And crazy I probably am. Put me on the right direction, yes. Some call me crazy for wanting to kill this Minotaur as a solo elf. But crazy I am. I can take this guy on. I can do it. I'm gonna have to be careful, but I can do it. Come on. Okay. He poisons? I did not know that he poisoned. I don't even know which one's more efficient at this point. It's probably still Minor Heal's more efficient for spell points, but that's more efficient for time. We heal and we come back in. And we hope. And we kill. And we got a sphere. That's it. Really, game? Couldn't have done me one better. Couldn't have given me any weapons or anything? No, just a spear? No mithril items? Nothing? Okay, fine. But yes, after FE7 Zero Bases, I played The Last Promise. And that was another experience, but that was fun. That was really fun. I did an Iron Man, kind of. I didn't reset unless I lost someone who was crucial to getting other chapters. I don't know. I did a selective Iron Man. Most of the time I just kind of went through and just didn't reset, but when I did reset, it had to be when it was like, oh yeah, this means I miss out on this chapter entirely. Or I miss out on recruiting units. Basically, my goal with that run was just show off all the units that existed in the game like, itself. To show off all the chapters that were in the game. Because I even did both parts of the route split. I played every chapter of The Last Promise. How many people can say that? I played every chapter of The Last Promise at least twice. Because I played it once myself, and then I played it a second time on stream. On recording. Apparently there's a newer version out right now than the one I was playing, but nah. I don't really care too much. I'm not doing the Constellation on video unless people really, really want me to. Because that just doesn't seem like something that's really good for recordings. Also, why are these rooms respawning and these ones aren't? Like, these two rooms just haven't had anything in them ever anymore, and it bothers me. Yeah, so I played The Last Promise. Between every show, I would do more. Between every series, I would do more Mordor. Always coming back to it. And then I played both books of Mystery of the Emblem, because I had played everything else. Played every other Fire Emblem game. Fire Emblem 3 was the last game for me to play, and so I decided to play both books. I decided to make it a legit Iron Man. And then I lost Cheetah in like the very first turn of chapter 2 and decided I'm not doing this. Restarted just because I didn't realize that archers could move on a mountain. So you may argue that it's not a legit Landria's hammer? Okay. I was thinking this was like a rare item. No, that's a cursed item. I've still never seen that before. Never seen that before. What the heck? Oh, Sphere of Flickering Doom. Okay. What spell's Flickering Doom? That's a mind spell? Or is it a kill spell? It's a kill spell. Oh, it's one step up from Dazzle. That's mediocre. Thanks, but no thanks. Come on. Resist, drain, resist acidity. Yeah, there's slight lag on the game when I'm recording it because, well, the game is just not made to be run in the setup that I have running it. Yeah, granted, this game was made in '95. It wasn't made to be run with, like, any modern setup. Oh, thank goodness. I thought it was lynch demons, and I was worried. You know what? Let's go up and get ourselves some rings. The fastest way to get there is actually through floor 3. I mean, technically the fastest way to get there is through Ethereal Portal, but yeah, not doing that right now. But yeah, so I played Fire Emblem 3, Blind Iron Man. That was fun. I didn't want to see any more of Arcanea after that for a bit, but it was fun. It was definitely an enjoyable experience, I will say. I do like Fire Emblem 3, despite the maps in Book 2 kind of being questionable. They do give you, like, it's a really intelligent design overall, but the maps specifically just bother me. Especially because there's a lot of things that happen with the map that I'm like, oh, that makes things different. Doesn't necessarily make them better, but it makes them different. The fact that enemies spawn in and attack on the same turn, the fact that they ambush you like that. Ambush spawns. doors opening and all the enemies coming out on enemy phase. There were just a lot of rude things about that game. Overall, good game though. Overall, fun. Definitely not my least favorite Fire Emblem. Which actually begs the question, what is my least favorite Fire Emblem? Which... I don't even know if I can give you an answer to that. Probably specifically Lunatic mode of Awakening, just because it asks you to do overpowered strategies or to not be able to win. Like, Robin breaks that game in half with specific builds, but if you're not doing one of those specific Robin builds, then the game becomes nigh unbeatable without mass grinding. And that's probably why I don't really like that game as much. But like I said, specifically on Lunatic, because hard is like my ideal play setting for Awakening, because it's somewhat of a challenge if you don't use like overpowered Robin builds, but it's not too much. It's never too much. But anyway, I got off topic. FE3, and that was in this apartment actually. And then I kind of took a little break, didn't really have anything else going on. Made some Heroes content. Thought about making other content. I have 2 different scripts for different videos that I just haven't made yet. Freaking disease, I don't like that. There it goes, okay. I'm always torn between, it's like, do I heal the disease or not? Because if I don't, and it ends up, you know, costing me a lot of hit points in the long run, then, you know, it's more efficient to just let it take its course. But if I do, then I'm constantly worrying, oh, well, what if it just would have cured itself in like 3 more steps? Because it cures itself so fast, especially with the, all the stats I have and everything. Whatever, it's neither here nor there. Yeah, and now I've started Fire Emblem 6 with 0 bases. And I've been talking to people about it, friends, roommates, sharing it on subreddits. I've been enjoying it, actually. And everyone's like, oh, how can you enjoy that? How do you have the patience for this? And I'm like, dude, I grew up playing Mordor. I grew up playing Mordor not knowing OLR, not knowing optimal leveling route, not knowing, like, any of the facts of this game. Just exploring it as a total noob. You think I don't have patience? Dude, this game is something else. But I will say, this game requires a lot of patience out of you. Oh wow, crit and sever and kill. Just 2 melee kills. Well, I mean, I guess I don't have to cast acid spray. That saves me a usage of that. I like how all these teleporters are just a chain that is, I believe, preset. And this will always take me to level 6. And always on the same square. You know, I feel so much more confident taking teleporters as a single, like as a solo character, taking teleporters that I'm not really sure where they go, than I ever felt in a party. Because if you hit a teleporter and it happens to be a randomized teleporter and you're in a party, your entire party gets split up across the entire dungeon. And that sucks to try and get everyone back together. Oh, giant leeches. Die, leeches. Oh, there was no one in that room. Hiss, hiss. Rot away. Gumon. Okay. Yeah, that basically takes me up year to date. What are some other things I've done? 313? I just damaged that Medusa for 313 with a single paralyzing death. Man, that spell's good. I like that. I like paralyzing death. That is a good spell. And I'm working on reducing its cost by leveling Sorcerer. I keep feeling like there's a sneeze coming up, and I guess there's not one. Could you hit the Hellhounds? I'm in an anti-magic area. I can't kill them with magic. Have to melee them down. More sorcerers. Yeah, it takes me up year to date. Oh man, what is it? I know there are some games that I made some videos of that I just have never really gotten to do anything with. One of them, mostly because I've never been satisfied with how it turns out when I record it. Because it relies on high frame rate to not get sick while watching it, I think. Descent. Descent by Parallax. Such a good game. So good. I actually might even play some Sublevel 0 because it's basically Descent, but if Descent were a roguelike. That game's good. That game's good too. Kiolata. Oh yeah, Ice Demons and Breath Weapons. I'll just fry some Tiger Sharks. And Blackout, so let's just get out of here. Yeah, let's just not. Can we just not? I'd rather not spend all my points casting those distances again. Yeah, well, hey, Pelagons finally spawned. Oh, that's interesting. Ooh, ants. Experience, more like. And a good use for my last charges of my crest this run. Yeah, that takes me up my year to date. Yeah, Descent is a game I have not really played. I've wanted to play and then I never really stuck with it. If I had a strong enough streaming setup, if I knew it wasn't gonna lag, if I could actually stream, like, not stream, just record, like 60p, 60p, no, 60 frames, 60 FPS, 60 pixels, yeah, that's rich. I know my terminology, guys. I've only made a couple hundred videos. But yeah, if I could find a way to reliably record in like at least 60 frames, and here's the thing, because it also tanks the frame rate of the game itself just by having it be actively recording. Yeah, if there was a way for me to clear that up, I would love to play that game. Another game that I've wanted to play on this channel and never really have is, well, what's it called? Total Annihilation. That's what it is, yeah. I might not do the entire campaign, because both sides of that campaign is pretty long. But I might do the expansion campaign, though, because the expansion campaign dumps you right in there with a decent amount of units, and it's tough. It actually gets pretty tough. I played it on normal. What did I tell your roommate barging in, all that crap? Okay. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I was going to play Total Annihilation on this channel, and I didn't really know if I wanted to because the campaign's long, and like either side of the base campaign of that game is like 24 or 25 missions. Some of them are interesting, but it's so slow getting up there. It's really decent scaling wise in terms of like tutorial. There are a couple of hard jumps in there. But in terms of like scaling with difficulty, it's not too bad. And then some of the chapters just get insane. But like that's a game that I really, really like. It's another game that I would love to play for the channel, but also a game that I'm not really sure. I don't know, part of me is like, I don't know if anyone else would watch it. Part of me just is like, well, I don't even know if it's going to record well. Because right now, like I said, I'm using a one-screen setup. And right now, with the way the game is set up, I need to look into it, but if I Alt-Tab out of the game, if I, like, basically don't have the window be visible, it just crashes. The game literally just crashes. So in other words, I could record, but it's gonna be a doozy to record. Carrying crawlers, why are they so strong? Also, why am I going this route? I'm meant to be going up, so I can just get to the floor 5. I don't need to fight the fire dragon. I just kind of went into autopilot mode, which I guess is fine, because I'm just talking and leveling. But yeah, Total Annihilation, I really want to play again. Now I think about it, I haven't played Total Annihilation in a while. But not like I have any time right now with all my classes being difficult, working like 20 hours a week as well. And right now I'm in the middle of, you know, FE6 with 0 base stats, still trying to play some Mordor here and there. Plus, I have Octopath Traveler, I just started into that. Wargroove just came out. Three Houses is probably going to launch sometime soon in a couple months, if Nintendo's estimations are still on the money. I just don't know when I'll have time, really. Plus, I'm, you know, helping friends out with, like, Smash Bros. Tournaments and all this type of stuff. I'm a busy person, and I don't necessarily have the time to play these games again, but honestly, coming back to it, that's one of the reasons I started this YouTube channel. To give me an excuse to play these games again. That's why I've started this Mordor run and I've kept at it, because like the trailblazing party I had before this run, I don't know if I've touched them really since, you know, since getting back, since really starting into this run again. Because I just don't have time. And I find myself not really wanting to play something if I don't, you know, if I've already, like, if I don't really see any gain from it, if that makes sense. And so this YouTube channel was a way of tricking myself into thinking, hey, you can just play Mordor again. You can actually get past the Vampire Lord. Like, the Vampire Lord, I think, was the strongest monster I've ever fought in Mordor. No, never mind. I have gotten to the Giant King before. And I've gotten into lower dungeon levels than that, briefly. But that was the end, really, of my Mordor experience. Because then, like, when you reformatted my computer, and I think I lost everything. Or I moved to a new computer. I forget exactly what happened, but either way, I lost everything with, like, the deepest party that I got. And so I'm just lucky that I didn't lose this run over all the years that I've had. But yeah, so wanting to do Total Annihilation. Like I said, I might run through the base campaign on hard mode Core Contingency Campaign is really fun, but really tough, so I might only do that on normal mode. Or I might try it on hard mode and just see how much patience I really have. Because, I mean, people say, oh, you know, you have a lot of patience for doing FE6 with 0 bases, and I'm like, well, it's like, it's 1 part time, 2 part patience, 3 parts just knowing how RNG abuse works, and then another 1 part patience. Because honestly, 0 basis has ruined me for Fire Emblem in multiple ways. The first way it's ruined me is whenever I see a normal Fire Emblem character, I instantly think, man, that's so overpowered and amazing. I do not know Restoration. I do not know Restoration. What freaking healing spells do I know, then? I don't know Restoration. Wow. I don't know what level I learned that, but apparently I don't know Restoration. This is apparently news to me as well. Well, 98. Need to kill a black eel. I know where those are. Yeah, Core Contingency Campaign is hard, but it is fun. It's like 4 different planets, each of like 3 levels each. And honestly, some of the strategies, that you employ in that are, like, basically they're, otherwise, if you looked at them normally, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of like a cheese strat. But it requires you to do that, or just requires you to, like, spam really specific units because nothing else works. I'm especially thinking of this freaking planet, the planet Lush, whatever. It's a giant jungle planet, and it introduces you to hovercraft, and says, oh, make hovercraft. That'll work. The enemy has flat cannons. You can't spam air units. Yeah, about that. There are so many trees, your hovercraft can't freaking move 2 inches. And there's so much water that you can't make anything else get anywhere you want it to get. And so really what it boils down to is just keep sending wave after wave after wave of air units, occasionally some hovercraft, build some other units for defense, and eventually wear down their defenses. Basically, like, suicide bomb all the freaking flat cannons until you destroy them. Oh, teleporter trap. That's not very nice. That wasn't nice at all. I don't get my treasure? Screw that noise. I'm getting that treasure. I'm going back there. Plus, I need to find a black eel. Probably should just go to the corner lake on level 4 for those. There. Maybe there's water on level 5? No, wait, level 5 is weird. Level 5 doesn't have any water. If I remember right. Oh yeah, it says level 6 of 13, even though there are 15 levels. I just barely saw that. It says that. There are 15 levels, but it only says of 13 because 13 is the lowest I've ever gone. And that was an accident. That was a teleportation mishap that I am very lucky I didn't instantly rock myself doing. Ugh. Hiccups while recording, not fun. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be anything else here. Nope. Nothing. But yeah, yeah, there is no water at all on floor 5. Did I ever really make a note of that? Did I ever realize that? Alligators. Maybe there aren't black eels on this floor. Well, this calls for some ethereal portal shenanigans. Please tell me black eels exist here. Otherwise, it's floor 6 and floor 7 for me. It's looking like it's floor 6 and 7 for me. Unless black eels are floor 3. Why the heck would they be floor 3? I'm almost level 100. Why would it quest me for a floor 3 monster? I guess they don't always quest you for stuff of your level. I've been quested for like werebores at level like over 100 before. I shouldn't complain. But yeah, core contingency is fun. I might also look into the battle tactics, but I don't know. I've never actually played any of the battle tactics maps. Actually, scratch that. I've played a couple of them. Didn't really find them enjoyable. Like, they're interesting. Oh gosh, dang it, not another one. You can't unlock a trap to save your life. What are those 100 levels in Scavenger I gave you for? Also, apparently walking corpses are immune to all magic as well. Just like Numenogs. Or apparently the Minotaur. As for the Minotaur, I could use Draining Touch on him before. Maybe I'm getting him confused with the Flame Dragon. That might have been the Flame Dragon, now that I think about it. What's the way out there anyway? Yeah, I have to go through the other route. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know about that. If anyone in the comments has played Total Annihilation and the expansions, what do you think of the battle tactics maps? Have you played them? Are they enjoyable? Are they interesting enough to actually merit me playing them on camera? Should I just try them out myself and see if I like them or not? Because there's definitely an element. There's an element of LPing I found. Like, there are multiple elements. One element is certainly the surprise factor, the uniqueness factor, the reaction. And that can be enjoyable. But then there's also another factor. A cleanup offered to join. Okay, sure. It's a diseased muck. Interesting. How would that... Oh, I am now carrying it. I am no longer carrying it. But yeah, there's one element that's like the surprise factor, the uniqueness factor. That, like, you know, when I was playing Mystery of the Emblem, I definitely had a lot of that because I'd never played that game before. Never played Mystery of the Emblem before, so I didn't know what I was getting into. And I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was different. You got my live reactions to stuff. Reactionary content is a form of content that, you know, a lot of people seem to like. It's not... I mean, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but a lot of people seem to like it. And that, I think, seems to be more popular in general. Huh, maybe I do have to go to 7. Compared to the other form, which is closer to what I normally do, which I'd call expertise content, which definitely has a niche. Like, for example, best example of expertise content is speedrunning, because they are not surprised by almost anything that happens. There are occasional random things that happen in some speedruns that can be fun to watch, but in general, a person who speedruns a game knows so much about it, or at least has memorized it up to a point, or just has experienced enough up to a point, depends on what the game is, where they just aren't really surprised too much unless it's a game with a lot of random elements in it. And so you're watching them because they know so much about the game, not because you're wanting to see, like, you're wondering to see what kind of crazy stuff is going to happen or how they're going to react to this twist. No, you're watching them because they know about the game. They know what's going on. And they have, usually, black eels. There we go. Completed the quest. And you're watching them usually because they have some sort of great insight for you, for the viewer, that, that you might not have had before. It's why, like, for Fire Emblem content, for instance, if you're watching someone like Mecha do like when you watch Pitfalls, or when you're watching someone do like 0% growths or an LTC, low turn count, those are things where you actually say, hey, I'm watching this person not because, they're doing a blind run and I want to see what their reaction is, but I'm watching them because I want to see some, like, higher level strats, or just want to get some insight out of the game. And I'm definitely not at that sort of high level with a lot of these games. Probably higher level than I give myself credit for, but I would definitely consider myself more on that line of tending to be sort of informational. There's 3 teleporters in a single dungeon trip. Screw this. I'm using the crest. Better not block me out. Orb of Life Domination. Oh yeah, we're getting out of here. That thing went to companion with me. 2 falcon wolves wish to join. They're going straight to confinement. I don't have paralysis or drain resistance. I should not be here. I should not be anywhere below level 2 without paralysis, stone, and drain res. That is dangerous. But yeah, I definitely find myself on more of that informational type of LP. This I would hesitate to even call a full Let's Play, because it's just more like a more like an audio blog with gameplay that happens to happen, and sometimes I react to it. Yeah, I definitely do enjoy, though, these elements of... Oh shoot, I didn't heal myself. Oh well, it's only like 3 days. 99. I could stop here and I'd be at my actual sub count when I've looked at. But like I said, the road to 200... 200? Yeah. The road to 200 subs just begins, but the road to 100 subs is almost over. It's been a long time coming. It's been fun, though. It's been enjoyable. I like it. But definitely seeing my sub count grow so quickly over the last couple days, even when I wasn't really uploading anything actively, has definitely inspired me to be making more content. So I guess... to whoever paid attention to my ramblings and stuck through this long enough to get to this point of the video, how did you find out my channel? That's something that, like, YouTube never tells you, is how people found you. Like, there are some things in analytics where it's like, oh, this % of people found you via YouTube search, this % of people found you via Reddit link, this % of people whatever. But it doesn't actually tell you how people found you, What was the first video you watched? What drove you to watch more of my content? Obviously, if you're watching this far into this video, you care somewhat about what I'm doing. I don't know. I guess that's my question. That's my question for you, and I guess if you have any questions for me, we could make a Q&A. We could do whatever, really. This is just the 100 subs talk it out video, but I might actually have Actually, shoot, now I have 100 subs, I have a perfect reason to just buckle down and create that stupid class analysis video I've been meaning to make. I just labeled it, I can just clickbait it 100 subscriber special, you know? Do the old mecha. 100 sub special, analyzing every class in Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem. Which ones suck? Spoiler alert, generals. No, wait. Yeah, so it's... Anyway, the long and the short of it is, I've really enjoyed my time with YouTube. It's had ups and downs. It's had times where I didn't really want to post anything. Times when I just didn't post anything. Sometimes when I posted a lot of stuff. Had some times where I wished something that I made got more attention than it did. Sometimes where I honestly don't know how things got as much attention as it did. Oh yeah, that brings me to another point. Like, my most watched video right now, I'm pretty sure is still my intro to Mordor, Depths of Dejenol. But I think my number 2 has definitely... If it's not number 1 now, it's definitely at least number 2. Is my Seth solo run. And not only is that a video that has a lot of views, but it has a lot of retention too. A lot of people it has a lot of view time. As, I mean, a lot of people, but enough people stick around and actually watch a decent part of it to make it worthwhile. I don't know. Most people do, like, 30-minute content or shorter than that. 15 to 30-minute episodes. And I guess analytics says that that's good for viewership, but yeah, let me know what you think about, like, longer form videos. Do you care? Do you care how long the video is? Because there are some YouTubers I watch who make, 2 to 3 hour LP videos, and I stick them on in the background and listen to them while I play games. Casper's prime example. Like, I've never really cared about Yu-Gi-Oh! Outside of when I was... Windows Defender, shut up. Ah, you interrupted me. I had a train of thought going and you just crashed it into a cliff. Yes, I disarmed a teleporter for once. Anyway, yeah, I've never really been into Yu-Gi-Oh, for instance, except for when I was a kid, but yeah, I've always had kind of a passing interest. It's like, I had some friends in high school who played it, and I'm like, I tried to watch them and I had no idea what was going on. But, it's an interesting game. It's a cool game. It's probably it is the weirdest card game I've ever played. Yeah, let's just do a powerful spell like this. Oh, yes, and now let's escape because we are level 100 now. We're about to become such. But while we're here, might as well kill the twisted elf. And die to a fire centipede. What a way to go. Man, dwarves are with so much experience. I love it. But yeah, never really watched it too much, but I've been watching his videos on Legacy of the Duelist, and it's instructive both on, like, what the game is now, or how you're supposed to play the game, kind of, as well as just getting caught up on, like, all the nonsense of the anime, because going back and trying to watch that, like, I actually did go back and try to watch one of the earlier episodes, and it was not good, let me just say that much. Like, I am sorry, but it's aged poorly. It's aged very poorly. But watching this LP is like, okay, I get to, be excited while watching it, because I'm, learning how the important story beats happened, plus you get to skip like 90% of the filler. Plus, I'm having, funny commentary with it. It just works. It just kind of works out. And it's one of my favorite things to just kind of turn on and chill to. I don't know. So that's something that I do sometimes. And so I'm just like, is my content that way for you, I guess? That was a long-winded way of asking, hey, do you like to just listen to my content while you're doing something else? I know that I had, someone else, I forget who it was, I forget their username. Yeah, there was someone else who commented, yeah, we just, we turn on your videos while we're just driving in the car. Just have it on as background background noise. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, great, thanks. That actually means a lot to me that my little stupid gameplay video is keeping you entertained during long, boring drives. And I guess that's the bottom line, because the whole point of me creating YouTube in the first place, of me starting this channel in the first place, was to just share what I like. Just share the games I enjoy playing. Play the things that I didn't think anyone else was playing, or even if they are, just share my own take on it. I never intended to get big. There was always a hope in the bottom of my heart that it might happen, but I never really expected anything. But now that I'm hitting 100 subs and growth is just kind of happening naturally, automatically, without me having to really do anything, aside from upload fairly regularly, I don't know. I like it. Things are going well. Things are going well. Things are going joyful. Yeah. And provided I still have time in my life where I can get away from people for a little bit and sit down with a nice game, I'm still going to come back to YouTube. I'm still going to come back and keep recording, keep making new LPs. No idea what I'm going to do, but, there's always a part of me that's still just like, I want to try this, And I guess that's the bottom line of it. I want to keep doing this. Started this just to share the games I like, and, at least a part of that's coming true, even if it's not to many people. So to those who do watch and appreciate, this is an honest thank you, I know everyone says, oh, you're so, you really, what am I trying to say? Everyone kind of gives that phrase, thanks, couldn't have done it without you, that type of thing, but, it never really feels sincere until you yourself live through it, and is like, you know what? That actually does mean a lot. Congratulations, you are now level 100. I think I'm just gonna make this the thumbnail or something, because I don't know, I really couldn't have done it without you. 100 subs, and I have no idea how the last 10 happened, but I got them, so good. Maybe let's sell this stuff and get going. Oh, I must return an Orb of Life Domination. I know where to find one of those. I just got it. Yeah, I'm probably going to off-screen a little bit more because, strong though I am, I'm not strong enough to really handle being down on level 7 and 8 for more than a very minor amount of time. But thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you so much for getting me to 100 subs. I don't know where we're going from here, but this has been quite the ride. As always, this is Mithril Zenith signing out. Have a great day, and I hope to see you again.